And let me tell you, if people had told me this was gonna happen, I was like, man, you must be smoking some really good crack. Because I think this company's gonna fail. I mean, I gave SpaceX less than a 10% chance of succeeding at all, to be clear. In fact, I told people this. I said, look, we're probably going to fail, but we should give it a try, because if we don't, if there's not a new company that enters space, we will never be a truly spacefaring civilization.
Few events in recent decades have carried as much significance for both the financial world and the space industry as this one. SpaceX has officially entered the public markets, beginning its journey on NASDAQ under the symbol SPCX, through what many are calling the largest IPO ever recorded. For an enterprise that emerged from a modest warehouse and spent years facing doubts about its survival, this occasion symbolizes much more than a stock listing. It reflects years of bold decisions, technological breakthroughs, and an unwavering commitment to goals that once seemed far beyond reach. As investors welcomed the company into the public arena, it became evident that a venture once viewed as highly improbable had grown into a powerhouse, influencing transportation, global connectivity, advanced computing, and the future of human activity beyond Earth.
While the other aerospace companies, they build good rockets and everything, they were simply not pursuing the technology that's necessary to make life multiplanetary, to make Star Trek, to make the exciting science fiction futures that we've read about real. And that's what SpaceX is all about. It's to take the fiction out of science fiction and create an exciting, inspiring future for everyone. We want to be able to take anyone who wants to go to the moon, anyone who wants to go to Mars, or anyone in the solar system, and maybe beyond the solar system at some point. We want to be able to take you there. Not just a few astronauts. I mean you, literally you. If you watch, whoever you are watching this, SpaceX wants to be able to take you to the moon, take you to Mars, and ultimately beyond. And I'm confident at this point that with the incredible team that we have here at SpaceX, that we will do that for you. I always think about this, there are always problems on Earth. There are always problems on Earth. There are always things that we wish to be better, that we want to solve here on Earth, and we should solve them. But there also have to be things that get you excited about the future, that make you glad to wake up in the morning, because you can't wait to see what happens next. And that's the future that SpaceX wants to bring to you.
The festivities unfolded in a manner that perfectly reflected SpaceX's identity. While many corporations would dedicate their IPO day entirely to investors, interviews, and market activity, SpaceX remained focused on its core mission. Just before the opening bell ceremony, a Falcon 9 mission successfully delivered another group of Starlink satellites into space. During her speech, President and Chief Operating Officer Gwynne Shotwell pointed to this accomplishment, humorously noting that few companies would choose to conduct a rocket launch on the very day they entered the stock market. Yet that choice illustrated exactly what sets SpaceX apart.
You'll never build a rocket large enough to take humans to the moon and Mars. We build one, we've flown it, and this year I believe we'll get to orbit with that vehicle, and we'll recover the second stage. We've already recovered the first stage and reflown it. So good on you all for that too. With the merger, the acquisition of XAI, we now as a group own the largest coherent gigawatt-class compute on the planet, which will help us truth-seek and understand the universe. So congratulations to all of us for that.
Even as shareholders celebrated a historic financial event, launch teams and engineers continued their work, underscoring the organization's emphasis on performance and progress. Looking back on nearly a quarter century of development, Shotwell reminded the audience that SpaceX was established in 2002 by Elon Musk with a remarkably ambitious purpose, creating rockets and spacecraft capable of transporting people to the moon, Mars, and eventually destinations even farther away. At the time, many observers dismissed the concept as unrealistic. The aerospace sector was controlled by major corporations with vast resources, extensive experience, and strong government relationships. The idea that a newly formed company could challenge those giants appeared highly unlikely. Nevertheless, SpaceX was founded on the conviction that humanity's long-term future required becoming a species that lives on multiple worlds, and that accomplishing such a vision demanded a fundamentally different approach to spaceflight. A turning point arrived in 2008. Following several failures in a period in which the company was dangerously close to running out of resources, Falcon 1 successfully reached orbit. That achievement made SpaceX the first privately funded organization to send a liquid-fueled rocket into orbit. The breakthrough came only weeks after a failed mission and during a period when the company's future remained uncertain. Numerous analysts and industry veterans had already concluded that the effort would not succeed. Instead, the mission demonstrated that private enterprises could accomplish feats previously reserved for national space programs and established the groundwork for the milestones that followed. Yet skepticism remained widespread. After Falcon 1's success, critics argued that the accomplishment was limited because it involved a relatively small launch vehicle. They claimed the company would never develop a larger system capable of supporting commercial operations and government missions. Rather than engaging in debate, SpaceX responded through results. Within 2 years, Falcon 9 successfully entered orbit, proving the company could scale its technology and compete in a much broader market. Another wave of criticism soon emerged, with some insisting that no private company would ever be trusted to transport cargo or astronauts to the International Space Station. That achievement made SpaceX the first privately funded organization to send a liquid-fueled rocket into orbit. The breakthrough came only weeks after a failed mission, and during a period when the company's future remained uncertain. Numerous analysts and industry veterans had already concluded that the effort would not succeed. Instead, the mission demonstrated that private enterprises could accomplish feats previously reserved for national space programs and establish the groundwork for the milestones that followed. Yet skepticism remained widespread. After Falcon 1's success, critics argued that the accomplishment was limited because it involved a relatively small launch vehicle. They claimed the company would never develop a larger system capable of supporting commercial operations and government missions. Rather than engaging in debate, SpaceX responded through results. Within 2 years, Falcon 9 successfully entered orbit, proving the company could scale its technology and compete in a much broader market. Another wave of criticism soon emerged, with some insisting that no private company would ever be trusted to transport cargo or astronauts to the International Space Station. Once again, SpaceX exceeded expectations, eventually becoming the first private organization to carry astronauts into orbit and forge a vital partnership with NASA. Over time, the company's list of accomplishments continued to grow. SpaceX revolutionized the industry through the development of reusable launch systems, an idea many experts had previously dismissed as impractical. Today, Falcon 9 boosters routinely return to Earth, land successfully, and fly again on future missions, dramatically lowering launch costs. During the previous year alone, SpaceX completed 165 launches, an operational pace that would have been difficult to imagine during its early days. What began as a high-risk experiment has evolved into one of the most dependable and active launch programs ever created. Shotwell also highlighted Starship, the enormous next-generation vehicle intended to support journeys to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. For years, critics questioned whether SpaceX could ever construct a spacecraft capable of enabling interplanetary travel. Today, Starship is a reality. The vehicle has already completed several test flights and continues advancing toward full operational capability. Company leaders see Starship as more than a transportation system. They view it as a key step toward establishing permanent human communities beyond Earth. If successful, that objective could become one of humanity's most important achievements. Another major topic during the event was Starlink, the company's rapidly expanding satellite communications network. Initially conceived as a way to generate funding for deep space ambitions, Starlink has grown into a transformative platform of its own. By bringing internet access to remote and underserved regions across the globe, the service has connected millions of people who previously lacked dependable communication infrastructure. Shotwell described this effort as one of SpaceX's proudest accomplishments and suggested that the network's long-term impact may ultimately exceed expectations. For many team members, the occasion carried personal significance as well. Shotwell revealed that SpaceX has expanded to roughly 22,000 employees and noted that more than half of them purchased additional shares during the public offering. Such participation reflects the confidence many workers have in the company's future direction. Throughout her remarks, she expressed gratitude to employees who endured difficult periods, worked through demanding schedules, overcame setbacks, solved complex engineering problems, and continued pursuing ambitious goals despite years of external criticism. She also paid tribute to the families and loved ones who supported employees throughout the company's journey. Advancing space technology, managing a global satellite network, and pursuing groundbreaking innovations often require substantial personal sacrifices. Long workdays, challenging schedules, missed family occasions, and emotional ups and downs affect not only workers, but also those closest to them. Shotwell emphasized that the achievements being celebrated belong not only to SpaceX personnel, but also to the countless family members who provided encouragement during every challenge and success. When Elon Musk addressed the audience remotely from Starbase, Texas, he reflected on how improbable this milestone once seemed. He candidly acknowledged that when SpaceX was founded, he estimated the likelihood of success at less than 10%. In fact, he often told others that failure was the most probable outcome. Despite those odds, he believed the effort was worthwhile because humanity needed a new path toward becoming a spacefaring civilization. Without organizations willing to challenge conventional thinking and accept extraordinary risks, progress beyond Earth could remain limited for generations. Musk argued that while established aerospace firms produced effective rockets, they were not pursuing the technologies required to make human life possible on multiple planets. SpaceX was established to address that challenge directly. The company's purpose extended far beyond launching payloads or transporting astronauts. Its broader objective was to fundamentally reshape humanity's future in space. As Musk explained, the mission has always been to transform concepts once confined to science fiction into tangible reality. One of the most compelling themes of his speech centered on accessibility. Musk stressed that the future envisioned by SpaceX is not reserved for a select group of astronauts or explorers. Instead, he imagines a world in which ordinary people have the opportunity to visit the moon, travel to Mars, and eventually journey throughout the solar system. In his view, space exploration should become available to everyone, opening the door for future generations to live, work, and thrive beyond Earth. Although such ambitions may still sound extraordinary, many of SpaceX's previous achievements once seemed equally unattainable. As the event drew to a close, Musk shifted the discussion toward a broader perspective. He acknowledged that humanity will always face challenges that require attention and solutions. However, he also argued that societies need inspiring goals that generate optimism and excitement about the future. People need something to look forward to, something that motivates them to imagine a better tomorrow. For Musk, that aspiration lies at the heart of SpaceX's mission, not simply constructing rockets, but helping create a future that inspires people across the globe. Although SpaceX's stock market debut represents a historic financial milestone, both Gwynne Shotwell and Elon Musk emphasized that it is merely another step in a much larger journey. The company views this moment not as a conclusion, but as the beginning of an even more ambitious chapter. With reusable launch systems, worldwide internet connectivity, lunar exploration, and plans for Mars settlement already underway, SpaceX believes its most transformative accomplishments remain ahead. What started as a small venture with uncertain prospects has become a symbol of innovation, persistence, and bold vision. If the company's history demonstrates anything, it is that today's impossible dream may become tomorrow's reality. In short, SpaceX's public debut celebrates not only past achievements, but also a future driven by exploration, innovation, and the belief that humanity's greatest adventures are still to come.